Okay, so previously I talked about how I got funded and I basically gave you an overview of the whole My Funded FX dashboard, but today it's going to be another trade breakdown and a strategy that I'm using to currently get funded again, maybe even 6 figures, and it's a very valuable video today because I actually made a mistake and lost a trade. So it's going to be really insightful for you guys that, you can make mistakes, however, just learn from them, journal them, and come back stronger. Okay, so now we're on the charts and I'm going to break down this trade for you from, step by step, all that good stuff. But first, I'm just going to show you where the mistake was made. So the trade that I took, my overall daily bias was actually bullish. However, now looking back on it and reflecting, we actually did have a break of structure right there because there was a swing low that was formed, a higher low to the left and a higher low to the right. It's honestly so confusing sometimes saying that, but that was a swing low, hence why we did break structure. So now you can see my new targets are down here, the equal lows and the big figure right there. So I'm going to walk you through, the wrong trade because I was still bullish, even though we were bearish. But daily, I was basically saying we were bullish. On the hour, now everything was giving me the signs of bearishness. I even remember looking at this before session and saying, we're displacing down really, really, aggressively. But the daily bias is still bullish, hence why I'm going to be, I'm going to favor the higher time frames rather than just, look at the hour and base my overall judgment on that. But, now in hindsight, looking back on it, the daily bias was actually bearish, so all of this made sense and the hour was actually in line with the daily bias, but obviously we didn't do that. So what was I looking for? Let me just forward to Asian session, so to 12. So I was looking for, there was liquidity below this low, there was some order blocks but they were already filled, and pretty much that's it on the hour. But if we drop down to the M15, then what was I seeing? Corrective nature, I was expecting this sort of price action, something like this, and then to go up. And we have some liquidity resting below here. We have some liquidity resting below there as well. And there's this order block which was already filled, but there was this last down close candle before we move up. So there was that potential as well. So there was some significant areas of interest definitely to tap into. And that was my overall judgment going into this trading session. So Asian low, Asian high, pretty self-explanatory, but let's see what happens. So we actually took out this first, and then this is when I was interested, so around 345, and there was no SMT divergence, okay, that everything was, in line. The euro dollar was moving down and the DXY was going up, so that was all well and good. So no divergence, but if we drop down to the 4 minute, I believe I took it on, I'll see. So we were showing weakness here, so I was pretty happy with that, because at this time I didn't know that my bias was wrong, right? So I was just looking at it from a bullish perspective. So we were showing some clear weakness right there and right there, so I was pretty happy. Then we did break structure, we tapped into this liquidity area, so I can delete that, and showing a nice reaction of it. This would be my break of structure line. There you go, we had a nice break of structure showing momentum for sure, and a nice reaction of an area of interest, which is always, really high probability and another really good confluence. So I saw all of these things. Then this was the fair value gap right there, and we also had an order block right there. So my stop was around there, I believe, or was it on the 5 minute? Yeah, I believe I took this on the 5 minute. So this was, yeah, this makes sense. I remember this. So my entry was there, my stop loss was all the way 11 pips right there, and then take profit basically a 1 to 2 somewhere up there, right? This was a trade and we got tagged in, and pretty much, yeah, we got tagged out right there. So it was a pretty long trade, and I actually did a live stream on this. So if you check out my live streams, you'll actually see me going in this trade and basically all the emotions and all that good stuff. And pretty much, yeah, that was a trade, a -1% loss. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with that, that's fine. But now looking back on it and seeing that my daily bias was actually wrong and incorrect, you can clearly see that there's a clear and a really nice setup that had formed, a short setup which I should have taken. So what do we have here? We have a fair value gap right there, it taps into that. We also have an 15-minute order block right there, an OB right there. So now if we drop down to the 4 minute, it was a really nice entry. We have 3 wick rejections right there showing a lot of weakness. We have a break of structure right there, a solid break of structure showing displacement. We have a clear fair value gap right there. We have an order block right there as well. Simple entry right there, stops above there, and yeah, you can target a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, whatever is in your plan. That would have been the actual trade to my plan, but obviously, my daily bias was incorrect, so I couldn't take this trade. But I only looked at this and reflected upon it once I saw that, in my journal, that this was wrong. So if I didn't journal it, if I didn't look back on the trade and I went like, oh, I lost, forget it, then I would have never seen this mistake and would have never improved on it. But a really valuable lesson that I've learned: losses are just learning opportunities. So really glad I learned from this, and definitely I won't make this mistake again. But I just want to share this with you, be completely transparent. Hopefully you can learn from these as well. And pretty much that's it. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. So that was the trade breakdown. Hope you guys got a lot of value from it, and also the insights that, I didn't follow the plan and I had a small little, mistake, I guess, that I didn't see when analyzing. And it just emphasizes the fact that you should always be prepared before you take the trade. And I clearly wasn't. And I just want to share that with you guys to show you that, make your mistakes, but just come back stronger and always follow the plan. So until next time, see you guys next week. Happy trading and stay safe.